Are you tired of being sick and tired? If you have trouble staying on track with your healthy lifestyle, then I would consider entering a season of saying no. My name is Julia Lundstrom, and I'm a neuroscience and brain health educator and the founder of Simple Smart Science. Warren Buffett once said that the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. When I look at my life and I look at the times where I was the healthiest and I was the most able to make lifelong lifestyle changes, it was in a season of saying no. Have you ever had a season or a time where you just decided, I am saying no and dedicating that time to yourself? Have you been there? A season of no isn't forever, but it's just for now. And sometimes seasons can be 3 months, or sometimes seasons can be 3 years. But sometimes when you need to make giant changes in your life, you have to say no to things right now. I remember a time when I wanted to stop drinking, and I was envious of people who I saw at parties that weren't drinking. It took me about 3 years to stop drinking totally, and I kept starting and stopping because it was so hard. I kept trying to keep up my regular lifestyle and stop drinking. Now, I didn't stop drinking because I was an alcoholic. I stopped drinking because I wanted to be the healthiest and the happiest I could be today. And I wanted to lead by example with my brain health company. And alcohol is a poison. But what it really took was me saying no to going out and going to bars and going to parties and going to places that I knew I was going to be tempted. I wanted to set myself up for success. Now, this was a bit of an extreme example, and I had to say no for about 3 months before I was comfortable enough going to a restaurant and just ordering bubbly water, which is my favorite, or going to a party and I'd bring my own bubbly water and I'd put it in a wine glass, right? Just to make sure I had it. But in the end, I stopped drinking alcohol. And what a win for my life! 3 months of saying no to parties and dinners and social engagements for better health for the rest of my life really seems like a no-brainer. A lot of people think it hurts to say no to things, because it does, because you feel like you're rejecting other people. And most of us have been on the other side of that, and feeling rejected isn't fun. You have to trick your brain into thinking that the no is actually a yes into the thing that matters most. Because the way I've always thought about this, from my perspective, if I achieve this really big thing for my health now, the rest of my life will be disease-free, happy and healthy, and I'll have energy and I'll sleep well, right? I'll be able to go to parties until I'm 110 and have a blast if I just stop drinking now. But if I allow all these just a little bit here or just once here conversations inside my head, or the one-off, favors that pull me away from the gym, hey, can you do me a favor, right? Or the one-off things to take me away from making a huge lifestyle change I know I need to make now, that could impact my health in 5 or 10 years, that could make it so I don't change and I stay stuck in my bad, sick habits and I let disease and illness win. Because the good health that I have and that you have is because of being focused on the one thing that mattered most. You, me, putting myself first to get to the happiest version of me, which makes everybody else around me happy. If I hadn't said no to those parties and those dinners and those lunches with girlfriends where they're sharing a bottle of wine, if I had said yes to all these little things, it means I said no to the one thing that mattered most. And I would still be waking up on a Saturday morning with a hangover and not productive at all for the day, not going to the gym, not drinking enough water, not being happy in my relationships, being reactive to my kid, not being the best parent I can be. Instead, I wake up and I take my dogs to the beach with my son and we laugh and we play and we have a great time. And I never again have to worry about what's going to happen the next day when I go to a party, and never again have to worry about drinking and driving, and never again have to worry about being exhausted because something I put inside my body didn't let me sleep. And it's not just about alcohol. I don't want to just go off on alcohol here. Maybe you're feeling a bit lost and purposeless, right? It's about saying no to the distractions on your cell phone or your TV in order to say yes to something that's going to bring you purpose. Researching something that's going to make you happy and going and taking action on it, like calling up a dog shelter so you can go volunteer. You have to say no to that phone for weeks or months or even a year, right? Years on end to make time for that new activity or learning something new or going to the gym. I like to play out in my head where at the end of this, where you're going to achieve this huge lifestyle change and make it a habit over 30, 60, 90 days, the people you said no to are going to be impressed by you and want to be around you even more. They're going to hold you in a higher respect for you because you did this for you. And if some reason someone's offended that you said no to them early on, well, I guess there are other people in a healthy state that will want to walk by your side and be in your life. And those are the people you want there. So Warren Buffett, I love Warren Buffett, right? 96, still running Berkshire Hathaway. He said to write down your 25 top goals in life. And he said to really think about them. Okay, and then order them 1 to 25. Then circle the top 5. Tear off everything underneath. Tear off the 20, throw it away. Because those are the things that matter during a season of no, those top 5. I put all of my effort into the one goal of those 5 that matters the most to me. And then I write down what is the minimum that I have to do to not move backwards. I'm actually as proud of the things that I haven't done as the things that I have done. Saying no is one of the most powerful things you can do. People that are successful in life can hyper focus on one thing until it's optimized. And it is where they want it. And when it comes to your health and specifically your brain health, this becomes a non-negotiable. So if you take something like sleep, if you are disciplined and you say no to that late night TV show or to scrolling more on your phone, right, to playing games on your computer, and you go to bed at a decent hour and you get the 7 to 9 hours of sleep that your body and your brain so desperately need, then you are a much healthier version of yourself the next day. Don't you know that? I think we all know that. But if you don't put this down, if you don't say no to these things, and let's be clear, they're incredibly addictive. That's what they're made to do. But if you don't say no, then your sleep suffers and your health suffers long term. It's gonna lead you to some disease. So this is really near and dear to me right now, especially because recently I've gone through a divorce. And I'm doing time sharing with my kid. And what I've found is that when I have him and I get him to bed on time so that he's the healthiest and happiest he can be, we all know this with kids, right? We're very responsible when it comes to kids about getting them to bed on time. But then just when I didn't have him, I was staying up late looking at stupid stuff on my phone till 10, 11, 12. I'm usually in bed by 9, right? And I'm just sitting there looking at it or watching a movie. And then I'm tired and the next morning I miss my workout. I miss taking the dogs for a walk. I rush eating my breakfast and it sets me up for failure the whole next day. And I'm not even talking about things like your metabolic health, which it will affect that too. This is not who I want to be. And there's going to be a day where I don't have my son. He's going to be off to college. He's going to move out and be an adult. I don't want to look at those later years and think I'm going to be damaging my health because of some stupid TV show or some stupid reel on Facebook. So now I keep the same routine when I have my son as when I don't. Yeah, it's fun every once in a while. Like I always say, one day doesn't break a habit. 2 days doesn't break a habit. But by day 3, you better be back on that habit. You can skip one day at the gym. You can skip 2 days at the gym, but you better make it back on that third day. Otherwise, you're out of the habit. So it's sitting down right now and deciding who you want to be and what you want to say no to, right? Say no to that late night scrolling. Say no to that TV. Put yourself first and put your health first. You deserve it. Focus on the thing that matters most in terms of getting more for what you put in. And that's why being so selective on the one thing that matters most is so important, because most people don't achieve the success they want because they either don't do the thing that matters most enough times, or they don't do it for long enough, or they're doing the wrong thing altogether. And that's why I'm saying no for a period, again, whether it's a month, a week, 3 months, a day, even a year. It's so important, period. So pick the thing you want to say no to and just start it today. One thing. I do remember I did go through a time in my life where I changed 12 things at one time in one period. This was in my late 30s, and it was pretty easy to do because as we get older, we get really set in our ways. So just pick the one thing you're going to say no to. Is it that late night TV, or is it 30 days without going to eat at restaurants and eating out so that you can get your diet healthy? Maybe stop or slow your drinking. Maybe it's saying no to buying all that candy and chocolate at the store so you cut back on your sugar. Out of sight, out of mind, I always say, right? If it's not in your house, you're much less likely to eat it. And yes, when it comes to your family members, this may be harder in practice, but just talk to them and tell them what your season of no is and how long you plan on doing it. And then that way they can get on board and maybe they'll even do it with you. If you don't include them, this could get a little sticky at home and frustrating for the other party. So what happens when you're trying to change too many things at once is that you fail on all of them. We know that our brain cannot multitask. We've learned that scientifically, we can prove that. It's basically doing a bunch of things poorly, switching from one thing to the other super quickly. You cannot do two things at once. So pick the one thing, find out what you need to say no to be successful for that estimated amount of time where you've got to say no. Write it down, circle it, put it on your refrigerator, put it on your computer, put it on your cell phone, make it the screensaver, and make that your change, period. To be able to say no. It's one of the most powerful things you can do in your life. When we're working with our clients on a weekly basis, this is one of the biggest things we teach them. We talk to them about what they're going to say no to for that week. We would look at our 10 pillars of brain health protocol and say, what are we going to change for the week? What pillar are we going to work on? Is it sleep? Okay, great. So for the next week, we're going to say no to just scrolling on our phone till midnight. We're not going to start a movie at 10 p.m., right? Truth is, we all know nothing good ever happens past 10 p.m. So this is how we get such massive results for our clients, because they only have to choose one thing to say no to for the week. I always look at your brain as a battery. And you know it's your energy control center, right? It's your energy control center for your life. And if it's low, you can't have the life you want. If you want a new partner, it takes energy to put yourself out there. It takes energy to try to meet somebody and build a relationship, a lot of energy. Or if you have a low battery, your brain's battery, you're much more prone to getting an injury or falling or even just having more pain from an old injury. You don't do the things in life you want, and you don't get the things in life you want with a low battery. So saying no is about saying yes to increasing your brain's energy battery. Every no gives your brain a little extra charge, and those add up over a period of a year, and your brain is going to be doing so much better. The other problem about your brain being on a low battery is that you're reactive. The more emotional you are, you get depressed easier. The low battery does not equal a happy life. In fact, low battery is what is going to give you more sickness, more unhappiness, and lead to a life you don't want. So saying no is going to start to recharge that battery, and no one deserves it more than you. When I need to change a behavior, I try and change the environment rather than myself, because it's way easier to change everything else than to change you. And that starts with now. So sit down, write your list of 25, circle the top 5, get rid of the rest, focus on the top 1, and go start your change today. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe to get more of our videos.